Vatayanasana today, the horse posture. And one curious thing about it, really interesting and fun thing to explore, is that you do the whole vinyasa with one leg in half lotus. So we're going to start with looking at that, which you'll take the right leg into half lotus and bind the lotus, and then breathe in and exhale forward. Okay, and when you come out of your forward bend, go ahead, head down, then lift the head and release that bind and get ready, and then it's really cool. Bend your knee into a crouch and then jump back with your half lotus. And you take a chaturanga with the half lotus. And then and when you go into upward dog, go ahead, none of the legs touch, only the top of the foot, the one foot. Exhale back to downward dog. So that's tricky, to keep the legs lifted off the ground when you go into that upward dog transition. So bend the knee into a crouch and jump forward. Okay, so then you're ready to set up the first side of the position. So you bend the left knee and bring the right knee down to the ground, and automatically you're got to play with the distance that your left foot is going to be away from your right knee. So the closer it is, the harder the posture. So many of you will have to start with it further away just to get your balance. All right, a few things about the hip and pelvis positioning. Okay, so one is that when you're coming into this upright position in Vatayanasana, you're doing your best to get the pelvis to neutral. Okay, so it's tipping forward, but you're working to lift up the navel and to make a heavy tail so that it's as neutral as possible. And then this leg is doing a curious thing. It's externally rotating. It's going this way, but you're also stamping it down, and so that kind of neutralizes it. But that external rotation of the leg is part of what enables you to get that foot closer, is to be thorough in that. Okay, and then this leg, it is externally rotated to get the half lotus, so you don't have to concern yourself with that. You're just grounding it and lifting up through from here to neutralize the pelvis the best you can. And so what you're going to do an exercise of lifting up and trying to get as vertical as possible and keeping the balance. Reach the arms up. So take the arms straight up and reach and get the body as vertical as possible. So the posture itself will throw the body forward, but you're trying to lift up and create a vertical line. And then work with, see if you can do it, getting that left leg closer, right. Okay, and also getting the heel down is harder than the mound of the toe. So as you walk in, you might be lighter on the heel, and it's kind of like a trade-off. The more you get in, the lighter the heel may have to be. But you're working to ground it. Okay, and then try to lift up. That's right. And play with it. That imbalance that she's experiencing, that you want. That's right. Right? That struggle for balance is part of working on this posture. That's right. When you lift up then like this. So with a move, you do that. And it's the right, so the right goes on top of the left. And you're trying to get as much of your hands together as possible. Nice. Okay, and then try it lifting the arms. Yeah. Right. Okay, and so you can see there's all these balance points you're working with. So those are desirable. You want the opportunity to turn unsteadiness into steadiness. Okay? And so that struggle is good. Let's see her put it all into play. So she stamps the left foot down, lifts up the body, swings the arms into position, and then continues that work. So grounding the foundation, lifting up the torso, and the arms reach up and away from the body as you stay. Excellent. So then let's look at the transition to come to the second side. So you release the arms, plant the hands, and jump back into chaturanga with that half lotus. Okay? Then keep the legs off the ground as you go up into upward facing dog, and exhale, pull the hips back, and it's in downward dog that you change sides with the half lotus. Okay, and you can use the arm. She did a nice move there without her using the arm, but you can use the arm if you need to. And then crouch and spring and come down for the second side. So you bring the left knee to the ground, and judge your distance, the distance away that your right foot needs to be from your left. And did you see she made a small adjustment there? You may need to adjust your foot that's in half lotus to get a comfortable position. Okay, and it's kind of going in the inner thigh growing area that you're trying to get that to feel snug and comfortable. Okay, then let's do our exercise first. Before trying to take the arms, just reach up to pull the torso up with your arm reach and get as vertical as possible. Stabilize your position by grounding your right foot, and then cross the arms over with a move, trying not to disturb the balance. Nice. And then reach up and away, and steady your gaze upwards and breathe. Great. And so then take the hands down, jump back with your half lotus, lower into chaturanga, go into upward dog, opening the chest, and pull the hips back, and then crouch and spring, jump forward, lift the head and chest, bind your lotus. So the left hand goes around, catch the left foot, and exhale, fold. Then inhale, head up, exhale, and inhale, come all the way up. Release the lotus and return to Samastitihi. We're going to look at the transition from chaturanga to upward facing dog with the half lotus because it's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to show you two ways to do it. All right, but one thing is you want to keep your legs off the ground, half lotus leg and the straight leg. So here she goes into plank and down to chaturanga. All right, then, so watch how she does it. Nice, rolls over the top of the foot and everything stays off the ground. All right, then pull the hips back. So that's basically just like you do it when you have both legs working. And so if that's troublesome for you, that's really challenging to do it well, you can not roll over the foot. Just keep your foot in place like it is in chaturanga when you go into upward dog. And she'll show you that. Okay, here we go. So come up and just keep your foot there. All right, so that gives you more clearance, and so you can do it that way. All right, so here's a few ways to troubleshoot common problems that come up in this posture. One is this getting the balance when you're trying to bring this foot closer to the knee. So just cheat it way out there, exaggerate it until you get a stable position, no problem. And reach the arms up now, just feel that. So you can really get the balance there, and then slowly walk it in. Okay, another thing is that the knee, it can be a lot of pressure even if you have a thick mat. So you can put a towel or something under there and get a little softness. Okay, and then last of all, this requires a lot of knee joint health and stability and flexibility. So you could just bag that, take that out, and don't take it out of half lotus and put it down. Okay? And don't underestimate, even though this is, it's not the same, but you can still work on the position very nicely throughout the rest of the body. And if you do this non-half lotus version, also walk this in. So you still do this, go through the same steps and like externally rotate this leg. And you can do the arm work.